seen it.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
And we are back with Brandi Joe. I'm so happy to be talking to you. I think I made that abundantly clear, didn't I?
I as well.
You feel it.
I do. I feel the love.
You feel the admiration.
I do.
Let's talk legacy in our last segment. And what does it mean to you? What do you think of?
Legacy is a big thing. And that was really one of the reasons that I started a women's organization. It was last winter. So it was December, January, February of 2024.
Did I mention already on air that when I went to your function, unprovoked, there were several people just talking among themselves about how you had pivotally, positively changed their lives. And, I like
that.
You hadn't paid them anything or, set this up, but just by chance, they were having little conversations of how crucial you had been in these, very
wonderful.
positive
That's
changes.
very wonderful to hear. That was actually on Tuesday. You're talking about the luncheon last Tuesday. We have a monthly luncheon with Athene. And it's a panel discussion. Next month, I don't believe we're going to have a luncheon, but we are going to have, I believe, a brunch. We're going to have something. It's just not going to be a luncheon. And then we're going to transition to a dinner. And then in May, we're having our 1-year anniversary luncheon. The reason that I started Athene is because of two things.
What is it?
So Athene, in the tagline, it's a community of women driven by excellence. I have always had this incredible level and standard of excellence in everything that I do. And sometimes, according to my mother and my wife and my meditation teacher, sometimes I put that expectation on to other people, and I'm learning not to do that. But during January and February of last year in 2024, I was not in a good place. Spiritually, emotionally, I was down. I didn't really, my business was going well, but I needed something more. And so I go and I talk to my pastor, Doug Robbins, down at City Church. I talked to my mother. I talked to my meditation teacher, David G. And what came up through all of these conversations, and they did not know that I was talking to all of them together. They, from what I understood in the feedback from them, they had no idea that I was basically, bringing my front row together to get out of this funk. And the overriding theme of these conversations was legacy. It's like, Brandi Joe, you're about to turn 51. You just turned 50. You can either have an existential crisis about the rest of your days, or you can set something in motion that establishes why you do what you do and the way that you do it. And
Love
so
it.
there is the term legacy. And being in the financial planning business, I don't consider legacy to be anything that somebody is going to leave behind monetarily.
Okay, how interesting.
So there's two examples. Well, there's one big example. Warren Buffett, and you watch the headlines and some of the clickbait headlines that they have. Warren Buffett disinherits his family. That is not entirely true. He has given the bulk of his wealth, I believe, to the Gates Foundation. But there is a significant amount of tax-free dollars that are going to flow to his heirs and his other organizations that he cares about through permanent dividend-paying life insurance. I want the last check that somebody writes for my funeral, hopefully I go before Claudia does, that I want that check to bounce. I want to die broke and happy, knowing that I've set this incredible financial legacy in terms of the greatest financial product on the planet, which is whole life insurance. But when we're talking about leaving something behind,
right, yeah.
We want that imprint. We want that mark on the world to be left to where people know that we were here. And so what I want to do, I want to leave the world in a better place. And one of the other things that started coming up last winter was the fact that I never liked working with women. It was an issue for me. And I think it had everything to do with, turning pro at 21, getting in this sorority called, at the time it was called the Futures Tour. And I feel like going out there without any experience without any experience, being an only child and not being around a group of girls, that I limited myself a little bit. And so I was always, not wanting to work with women. I worked best with men because, again, we go back to me being direct. Men are yes, no. It's black and white. There's no gray. There's no pink. There's no nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So I always felt it was better for me professionally to work with men. And I knew that I needed to do something. And so one of the things that started coming back to me was, you've never really been part of a women's organization. You've kind of poo-pooed it and turned your nose up at it. So maybe that is something that you should lean into.
Oh, wow.
And so one of my...
You have.
Yes, very in a great way. One of my mentors there's a person on this planet that I consider one of my mentors. We've only Instagrammed together, but it's Stephen Pressfield. And what he advocates for, he has a line of personal development books, and also he writes fiction from like the theologian, like Rome, like pre-Roman into the world kind of things. Like Gates of Fire is huge. One of the books that he wrote. But he has a line of personal development books, and he talks about resistance with a capital R. And whatever you resist persists.
Oh, I've heard this before.
So if you lean into what you don't really like,
right,
you'll experience a massive amount of personal development change.
Wow, how interesting.
And I think you'll get to another level. And certainly I have with starting Athene. And not just, having a luncheon once a month. We provide 4 hours of coaching every month. On Thursday from 2 to 4, on the third Thursday of every month from 2 to 4, we have a private group. Nothing shared on social media. It's private. It's intimate. We went over the 12-week year. In January, we did a class on one word, how to have one word that you focus on for the rest of the year that keeps you on track.
What's the feedback you're getting? I mean, why aren't we just okay by ourselves? Why can't we all just live our happy little lives and not need other people? And why is this something we need? Why did I go to your function and everyone was just raving about how great this was?
I think, quite honestly, I believe that I make people take a very hard look at themselves. And some people some people feel safe with me. Mm-hmm. Some people, just like this last week, some people take it as a beatdown. When they ask me my opinion, I will give you my opinion. I don't sugarcoat anything. And so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to strengthen women's resolve in the fact that they want to do great things. And Athene is an organization to where you can come and you have the support to do those great things. Whether it's your career, it's your life, it's your marriage, it's your children, whatever it is.
Hard decisions.
All of it.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do, whatever you feel that you need to do that's hard, come to Athene, share that with us, and we will keep you accountable to that.
Talk about what you said on one of your podcast episodes about the crab in a bucket.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. That was with Amy. So Amy House is our professional development coach. And Amy and I are very much alike. We're not really yin and yang. We're both very direct. And we're here.
I love how transparent you are on the podcast, by the way.
Thank you. We're here to support, but we're not here to say, oh, it's okay, darling. It's not okay. It's not okay for you to stay the same way, because we're all here on this planet for a purpose, and we need to be able to foster these relationships and to make every arena or every area that we're in, we need to make it better.
Yeah.
And so I believe that I've set that standard, And I've also recruited some great people. So Robbie Wintermark, who led the luncheon, she is a woman.
It felt very collaborative.
Yeah. So she is a woman that had a hell of a career in corporate retail, and now she is dealing with the aftermath of going through an accident that was, not of her own fault. And now she's trying to basically put not only her professional life, but also her financial life back together. And I want to support her in every endeavor. And so what I have made sure of is that she is one of the leaders. She is
Right.
part of the leadership of Athene.
I need another hour to talk to you because I think so many more people could benefit from this kind of support. I mean, it's wonderful that you're doing it, and I don't know how you sleep at night because you can't possibly sleep with everything you're doing, with all the great content you're putting out. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't it be great if I think every woman or every person could benefit? We're wrapping up, though, so I better have you reiterate all the places people can find you.
Yeah, the best thing to do is just Google me, Brandi Jo Newman. It's with an I. I'm on Instagram. Now I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Threads. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. And what's funny is that when I go into these platforms, there's a different vibe.
Yes,
and
there
a different
is.
conversation to be had in each of these platforms.
True.
And so what I try to do is I try to stay on the main platforms to influence and to connect with as many people as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good mission,
Thanks.
in my humble opinion.
Thanks.
And what's one thing that someone can do, the average person, today to support our community? What event or what one thing, other than following you, which we should do?
Oh, there is absolutely one thing that everyone can do every single solitary day that doesn't take any effort whatsoever. They can pick up a piece of trash when they see it.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Thanks. Make the world a more beautiful place.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Don't trash it up.
I'm glad you said that because I also want to say before we end, I watch you have to see your outfits. I love your style.
Thank you. Oh, my mother's gonna love that. She's gonna love that. She taught me how to dress.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. She did well.
Thanks.
We got to say goodbye.
All right. Well, Shannon,
This
thank you
was
so much.
fun.
Yeah, this is good.
Next time,
All righty.
tell Todd I did good.
You did great. You did amazing.
And he'll be back next time if you
All
missed
right.
him.
Well, I am looking forward to meeting Todd someday.
Yeah. He's a cool cat.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the 10 Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.